What's going on, everyone? Dottz Gaming here, and I just want to release a quick follow-up video to the feedback video I released a couple of days ago. Before I get into it, though, I do just want to thank you guys so much. The feedback on that video was absolutely fantastic. A lot of you guys chose to comment, and I really, really appreciate it. And the comments were very, very detailed. It really appreciate those of you who came, wrote a comment, especially those of you who wrote really detailed ones and gave amazing feedback. Thank you all so much. And I'm not going to lie, I was overwhelmed by the positivity on that video in that comment section. It really, I really cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate the amount of love and support you have from me, my channel, what I do on Twitch, the website, on YouTube. It just really, I really want you to know how much your guys' kind words mean to me, and do know that I have scrolled through pretty much the majority of the comment section and read through them all. And so I just can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it. And by the way, I do just want to mention it because it seems like a lot of people don't still know yet. I do have a website, dottsgaming.com. It's got tons of builds on it. Check it out if you want to learn, see builds and setups and stuff, because I saw a lot of people asking like, oh, PvE builds and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they're on the website, so definitely go check it out there. But for YouTube, and actually talking about the comment section and the feedback that you guys left there and kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about, there definitely, I believe, was a common thread between all the comments in terms of like what you guys are looking for from me on YouTube. And I think it actually is going to tie into my Twitch channel perfectly well, because I felt like for the last, I'd say year or so, there's been a bit of, a disconnect between what's going on Twitch and what's going on YouTube. And I think that the plan that I have is going to kind of mesh those two together. And I feel like just what you guys want to see from me, it is coincidentally kind of like a more joining of the two. And it is that you guys love to learn from my videos, the beginner guides, some of the informational content that I release. I feel like that's kind of the crux of what people really enjoy about the channel, where you guys like the way I explain things, you like the way that I talk about things, and I bring it to you in a very entertaining manner. And I feel like that's like the crux of what people want to see out of my videos. But take that past just beginner guides, like how guild traders work and blah blah blah. People said like I said, the common thread I was seeing was that we want that, but for PvP. And so a lot of people said the commentaries are great. And by the way, I keep saying people saying a lot PvP commentaries would be great. Just so you guys know, I did start releasing a whole bunch of them before Greymore came out. So definitely, if you want to go take a look at some of them to see like what you could expect, feel free to go check those out. But I'm kind of going to be doing things a little bit differently with the commentaries, the builds, and some future content I'm going to release. So this video might drag on a little bit. I have no script. I'm just kind of talking. But I just really want to give you guys a picture of what you can expect. So you can pretty much expect a very similar thing from me with builds. I'm really going to try to continue to be in depth and really explain why I use what I use, and not just be like, oh, I use this because it's good. I'm really going to try to go over the nitty gritty of why I'm choosing what I'm choosing, so that you guys can really understand the benefits and values of certain skills that I'm choosing, and why I might be choosing them over other options, which is going to be something I make sure to definitely talk about. In the PvP build videos, I will still definitely be including some gameplay, maybe not sometimes as like a full BG. It might just be a couple clips, or sometimes might be a full BG, but there will still be PvP footage in the build videos as well. But what I'm going to do for the next probably month or two as I release the build videos out is I'm going to try to do a build video, and then following that build video, a commentary on that build. I did just release a lot of MagDK commentaries right at the end of Harrowstorm, because that's what I was playing a lot at the time. So with this new upcoming schedule, though, like I said, what I'm going to try and do is record the build footage for all that stuff, get the build video out, but then also make a commentary on that build as the follow-up video for the build. And then I actually downloaded this tool. Huge shout out to Gray and Ida, two of my patrons, for helping me find something to do this. Especially Ida, I know she was the primary person that brought it up. I downloaded a drawing tool for my desktop, so that when I do the PvP commentaries, I can draw and mark up the video and like make arrows and point all that stuff to show you guys what I'm talking about. And I'm also going to start taking the commentaries a little bit slower. I know I was kind of like doing a blending of both shoutcasting for what I was doing as well as talking about what I was doing. But a lot of you guys did say that they were a little too fast for you because you might be newer and you're trying to learn. And I feel like the commentaries, the way I was doing them, were really good for intermediate players, but did leave some newer players kind of in the dust because everything was happening so quick and I was talking so fast that they couldn't keep up with what I was doing. So I'm going to try and slow them down a little bit just so that I can make more concise explanations. The videos might be a little bit longer because of that, but you know, I think that it's an important thing to make sure that they're a bit slower. And the third thing I'm going to be doing, so like I said, you normally see 3 videos per week for me. So like I said, it's going to be like the build video, commentary on the build, but then the final video, I'm going to think I might start a new series on the channel. And I think it's just going to be, I don't know, I don't have a fancy name for it yet. It's either going to be like PvP for Dummies or PvP Basics, or I don't know, I'll think of something. But I want to start doing like PvP beginner guides because I've seen a lot of the beginner guides and new player guides for PvP that have come out from a lot of people. And while I think that they're great and contain a lot of amazing information, I think that a lot of them are either really, really long and it's like it's so much information coming at you in one video that it's like a little much for a new player, I think. Or the explanations are a little bit too high level for a lot of people. Like I'm going to be starting, I'm talking grassroots. Like you're new to PvP, you're struggling, you don't really know what's going on. I'm going to be starting there for this series. Like, you know, talking about builds, I'm going to be talking about the flow of combat. I'm going to be talking about goals with playing offensively and defensively. I'm going to probably try and make general guides on the various classes and your objectives on how to counter them and what their goals are, because I know that's something I saw from a lot of people, and maybe I only play one class, and I don't know what other classes are trying to do. Like, for example, whenever I duel my friend on his Stamina Templar, I have a rough idea of what his goals are and what he's trying to do, so I know, okay, he's doing this thing right now, so he's probably going to follow up with this thing, and then when he does, I'm prepped and ready for it, you know, because I predicted that. But, you know, as a newer player, you might be like, well, I only play a Dragon Knight. I don't know what Night Blades do. So that's going to kind of be the videos I'm talking about, where it's going to be like general flow of combat, building, counter classes, and then like if there's anything else that you guys are particularly curious about when it comes to PvP and total base beginner guides, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know. I'm also not just going to be covering 1vx solo BG type builds in the gear guide. I also am going to probably tack on a section for larger scale PvP and talk about certain sets that maybe if you're playing a healer or a support would be really beneficial to bring, the importance of AoE in large scale PvP versus why single target dots aren't nearly as important. Like just things like that to help the community at large become better at PvP and just learn PvP more. And I think that Grassroots beginner series is going to be really good for those of you who just don't really know much about PvP and want to get started but are intimidated or scared. And I think that'll be good for you guys. But what's good is that the commentaries, I think, will be there for those of you who are more intermediate players, who you know how to build, you have your character set up, you want to just improve and get better and learn, and you're like, in just certain situations, I'm not sure what to do, and blah, blah, blah. That, for the intermediate players, that's where I think the commentaries are really going to come in well. So we'll have the builds for people to see what setups I'm using and why I'm using them. We'll have the commentaries for your intermediate PvP players who want to learn, but I'm also, like I said, going to slow them down a little bit to be more inclusive towards newer players. And I'm also going to start a Grassroots PvP series for players who just really don't know what's going on in PvP and would like to learn. And then once I finish the builds, that third video week is going to probably just kind of turn into a whatever I want. Maybe it's a meme montage, maybe it's just stream highlights, etc., etc. That build video slot per week will, like I said, kind of turn into just like what am I in the mood to make this week? You know, maybe I just want to showcase a fun battleground I had. Maybe I want to do an additional commentary. Maybe I want to make a meme montage, whatever. It'll probably fill that void. Because like I said, I PvP almost exclusively on my stream. I mean, I do, for those of you who don't watch my stream, I do run vet trials once a week right now. Actually, my guild is going through VAS +2 progression, which is pretty sweet. But I only really do that PvE stuff like once a week. The majority of the time, I am PvPing. And I would like to bring I feel like the experience that people have when they watch my stream, you know, I'd like to bring that over to YouTube and I think get a little bit better continuity, because the beginner guides are all pretty much up to date and good. I think the only thing I'm going to make another beginner guide on is antiquities, not how the system works, but how to level it, because I have a really, really quick explanation on how to level up antiquities for people that don't know or want to level it up as fast as they can. So I'm going to be just like clipping down my stream from Greymore's release and then just like talking over it with the voiceovers, explaining how to level up antiquities from 1 to 7, because you technically don't really need to go to 10. 7 is as far as you actually need to go to get the mythic items. So that's what I got planned at the moment. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about all this in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited for what's coming up. And if there's anything else that maybe I said I'm not going to be doing that you would really, really love to see, please leave a comment below. I do just want to give one potential long-term future thing that may or may not happen. I do not know, but I want to kind of just prep you guys a little bit for it. For those of you who've been watching me on Twitch for a while, you will know that it was either last year or the year before. I tried getting back into WoW a little bit. I've been experimenting with like other MMOs. Have been watching my stream and all. I've been trying BDO, WoW, etc. again. But my brother and I used to play Arena a lot when we were in like high school and college. And with Shadowlands coming up, we're just kind of keeping an eye on WoW. And for me, like BFA was fucking awful. I couldn't stand it. And unless they like seriously overhaul the gearing in Shadowlands for how you have to gear up for PvP, like because it was a mess in BFA. Unless they change that up, I will not be playing at all. So just if that doesn't get changed, I won't be playing. But if it does get changed, if it does get changed to where, you know, I really don't have the PvP to get PvP gear, then you may see some WoW stuff down the line. With like I'll be making like a why I'm excited for Shadowlands and just kind of documenting my process through becoming a good PvP player in that game as well. But again, that's not a guarantee. I'm just saying it's a thought. It's a long-term, like 6-month down the line thought, but I just wanted to let you know that it is on my mind. It's completely dependent on what Blizzard does with the gearing system for that game. So if it's going to be similar to how it is now, it's just not happening. But if it's going to go back to the way it was in the good old days, then it is something I am definitely considering trying again. So just figured I'd give a little tip of the hat to that. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the update. Leave me your feedback below. Like the video, subscribe, bell, all that jazz. Also, especially bell. YouTube has been really bitchy with my notifications to people and letting people know when I post videos. So hit the bell. Make sure you know what's going on. But anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you all very soon.